Yo, what is up guys? It's Andrew here with Skill Quest, and in this video I'm going to show you guys my top 4 tips for getting the one arm chin up, plus 2 secret tips that help me really explode my one arm chin up progression. Alright, so kicking things off here at number 1 is you have to start lifting heavy. There's really no other way around this one, and the best way to do that is by using either a weighted vest or a belt. And if you don't have access to either of these, you can always throw some free weights in a backpack and do them that way. Now, one thing you definitely want to keep in mind is that whenever you start lifting heavy, you need to keep your reps extremely low, like in the 1 to 5 rep range.
Yeah, definitely do use a weight belt if you got one.
You see, when I first started to try and get my one arm chin up, I thought that the harder and longer you worked, the better you got. But that's just not the case when it comes to the one arm chin up. It's a very strength intensive exercise that requires the recruitment of your fast twitch muscle fibers. Mainly your type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers, because these are your strongest and your fastest muscle cells. So tip number 2 is actually one that goes along with tip number 1, and that is take long periods of rest. Whenever you are lifting heavy in the low rep ranges, you are training your fast twitch muscle fibers, which allow you to exert the greatest level of possible strength. The downside to using these muscle fibers, though, is that they can only sustain contractions for around 10 seconds and require rest times upwards of 4 minutes. Believe me, I've tried, guys, to lift heavy with rest times of under a minute, and all that happens is that your performance is going to consistently drop as your workout goes on, and that is not what you want. So rolling in at number 3 is arguably one of the most important parts of one arm chin up training, and that is train your grip. Now, there are several articles written on grip strength that I'll list down below that talk about how training your grip strength can improve your overall strength, mental health, and spatial task performance. But I can't stress enough how important this aspect of training is. Your body can only lift what your hands can hold. And there are actually 3 different types of grip strength in the realm of weightlifting, and those are crush strength, pinch strength, and support strength. In our case, though, we're only interested in our crush and support strengths, as we'll be mainly working from a bar that involves both. Your crush strength is basically how it sounds. It's a measure of how tightly you can squeeze an object between your palm and fingers. Support strength, on the other hand, is how much weight you can support on your fingers. Now, I'm not going to get into much of the science of these two, as I could be here for days just talking about these 2 aspects of training alone. So for right now, I'm just going to give you guys my 2 favorite exercises for each type. For training my crush grip, I love to do thick towel weighted pull-ups and one-arm towel hangs. My emphasis on these 2 exercises is on the word thick. And I say that because whenever you have to train with something that's thicker than like a typical bar, your muscles have to work a lot harder to squeeze it. And so if you train hard on a thick bar or a thick towel, when you go down to a smaller one, it's going to be a lot easier for you to grip it. For training your support strength, on the other hand, I definitely recommend doing some one-arm dead hangs and 2-handed farmer carries. Alright, tip number 4. Work on your ulnar digit strength. And if you're wondering what that means, all it means is to work on your pinky and ring finger strength. Now, I know it might seem a little odd to focus on your pinky during any grip exercises, but the reason I say that is because of a study done in 2010 that looked into how much your pinky and ring finger played into your overall crush-style grip strength. This study found that when testing their subjects' grip strength with and without their ulnar digits, they discovered that when the participants were not allowed to use their pinky, their grip strength decreased by 33% and 21% for the ring finger. Now, I can only speak from my own experience, but after the first 2 weeks of trying to concentrate the power in my ulnar digits into my workouts, I noticed a huge improvement in my overall grip strength. Alright, so all the tips that I've listed so far are ones that really helped me to develop my strength to weight ratio. But these next 2 tips are ones that I haven't seen talked about anywhere else on YouTube, and I personally think really helped me get over that hump of getting to the top of that one arm chin up and achieving my goal. So secret tip number 1, whenever you are doing a pull-up or trying to get that one arm chin up, do it plyometrically. Now, this might sound kind of simple, but it is something that I notice a lot of people get wrong even when it comes to regular pull-ups. Whenever you are doing any sort of athletic movement, there's this process that occurs throughout your muscles and tendons called the stretch shortening cycle that allows you to use the elasticity stored in your muscles and tendons for extra power. Plus, whenever you are doing a plyometric exercise, you're using your fast twitch muscle fibers, which, as we talked about earlier, means more power. Now, please don't get me wrong. I don't want you trying to do a one-arm chin-up as fast as you can with crappy form. No one will give you credit for those. But once you get the proper technique down with assisted chin-ups, then you can start to move as fast as possible.
Hey! There's weeds still here. Hey, give me that.
Alright, so my last and final tip for getting the one-arm chin-up is the one that I believe is the most important, and that is supra-maximal negatives. Now the term supra-maximal might be a new term to all of you, but essentially all it means is training with a weight that is beyond what you are able to handle, and essentially what you are doing is rewiring your nervous system to make the added weight your new normal, so that when you take off the extra weight, you feel as light as a feather. As you're doing this exercise, make sure that when you get to the top of the chin-up and let go with your offhand, that you try and lower yourself down as slowly as possible to really work the arm and forearm muscles. A word of caution with this exercise though. You really only need 10 to 15 pounds of extra weight when you start out, as you don't want to put too much strain on your body and risk injuring yourself. But honestly, it was this tip alone that has allowed me to smash through what I thought my body could really handle.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. If you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you really like this video, hit that like button. It's easy. God bless all of you and keep on training.